Let's go over to the world of Direxion, folks. We get our man, Mr. Dave Mazza. Dave is the Managing Director, Head of Product at Direxion. Dave Mazza, welcome back to TFNN.
Hey, happy to be back. Thanks for having me.
Totally. And you've been busy, man. You get a lot of ETFs out here. Hey, so let me ask you. Well, of course we get a great day, folks. That's the bottom line. When you get a day that's up these percentages. But Dave, let me ask you. What is the your daily S&P 500 high beta bull and bear? Talk to me about this. This is pretty cool,
these are really interesting products. They're actually relatively new, but they've taken off. So what they are, so think of the S&P 500, right? 500 stocks. It takes the 100 highest beta stocks.
Okay.
So we provide 3 times exposure on the long side in fund HIBL, and then 3 times inverse on HIBS. And Tom, these 2 funds, as expected, because we've seen so much market volatility, have seen investor interest for new funds grow tremendously because people see the opportunity set not just in focusing on the S&P 500 broadly, but on that more concentrated exposure of just those high beta names.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that. So you get the 100 top and the 100 bottom, right?
Well, it's the index itself. The S&P 500 high beta index is just the 100 highest beta stocks within the S&P 500.
I got it. Okay, cool.
The long side is the bull on that, and then the short is the bear on that.
Pretty cool, man. I can see that. And folks, you can find out more, if you're right and sitting on the site right now, just hit the Direxion banner, or you can just go to Direxion.com. It's Direxion. So that's pretty cool, man. When I brought those up and I start seeing them, and they're liquid. That's pretty cool, bringing a new product and you get something that's liquid already, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's all about folks like yourself and the rest of the trading community paying attention to new ideas. New ETFs are hard, right? You got to cut through all the noise.
Yes.
But we think these ones certainly are unique because of the volatility we've seen in the markets. They did launch at a good time, being there for investors. But again, for someone looking for more concentrated exposure to really the names that are moving in today's market, these are going to be 2 ideas for you. So that's HIBL and HIBS.
No, I can see that. There's no doubt, because what ends up happening is that everyone just is looking for, well, not everyone's looking for volatility. We're looking for volatility, that's for sure. So what else do we have happening with Direxion? I know when I brought this up this morning, I know you got a lot happening, man. So what would we like to talk about?
Yeah, well, another interesting idea that we've seen is actually it's in just the inverse 1x side.
Yes.
It's SPDN. So this is the S&P 500, just 1 times inverse. That fund has grown tremendously this year as well. We've actually had it in the market for a while, but investors never caught interest in it. Even today, we're seeing activity in the fund. Likely, it's more of a tool just for hedging if you want to keep some long exposures on. But I've been finding the flows into that product really interesting because they've actually been pretty consistent, even when we've seen ups and downs in the market. So which tells me that certainly there's some massive bullish sentiment out there today, but we know it's still not an all clear signal. So that's a great tool for investors who might be comfortable kind of integrating a hedge to their portfolio, so you don't necessarily have to touch some of the other parts that you might be wanting to trade.
Which is great. No, so the bear one is SPDN, right?
Yes.
And then the bull one is?
Well, then we have the bull and bear.
I get it. Okay, this is with
SPXS. That's 3 times. So this is kind of a lighter level of leverage. But my point being is that obviously we've seen SPXL and SPXX explode. Same with the small caps, your TNA, your TZA. But this has been under the radar fund,
yes,
which has also grown, alongside something on the high beta side. So kind of your intro to this segment, there's tons of opportunities out there. And I think today is another great example where, we closed on a pretty sour note for most of last week. But then, today, because of just hopefully some great news coming out of the pharmaceutical community that would be, help with the health side of this particular crisis.
Sure.
Maybe not necessarily the economic long term. Investors plow right back in on the long side. So the tools, both on the bull and bear side, really can be used by traders very effectively in this type of market.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Now, let's switch gears, because I was talking to you before last time about this 20-year bond. So, and inside the 20-year bond, folks, the Direxion, we have the TMV. This is quite a move on bonds out here today, man.
Yeah, that's another side too. So, we have massive risk on sentiment across the markets. All these areas that many people have been looking for as confirmation that, to your point, that this move might be sustained. Whether it's looking at what's happening in the NASDAQ, growth stocks actually underperforming your value stocks today for the first time in a while, small caps just ripping.
Yes.
And then, of course, what's happening in bonds. So we have all these just kind of interesting plays that's all occurring at the same time. Who knows if we keep the bullishness into the close? But I think investors need to stay on their toes in this market.
No doubt. Listen, thank you, Dave, for so much education. Look forward to speaking in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay right there, folks. Come right back.